everybody. It's your podcast, Sista Lisa. Thanks for tuning in. If you like to discover new music, then you've come to the right place. Today, my guest is the talented country singer, songwriter, musician, and expert fiddler, Chris Higbee. He's in the house.
Hey, how
There
y'all
he is.
doing?
Great. Thanks, Chris, for joining me today.
My
This is
pleasure.
this is exciting.
Yes, it is very much so.
I wanted to talk with you about your music, but also too, you're coming up with kicking off your summer season tour
Mhm.
that I want to hear about.
Yeah.
But I've had the pleasure, Chris, of seeing you perform live on stage. And I'm telling you, the energy that you have when you're performing is unbelievable. And I want to say, I'm pretty sure I saw you jump up on the bar playing your fiddle.
Yeah, that's a pretty, it happens a lot.
When did you start playing the fiddle?
I was 7 years old and I liked a girl by the name of Diane. And I went to school with her and I heard that she played well, at that point it was the violin. And one of my songs called Fiddles Rock starts with Diane next door played the violin. She was hot, so I had to learn how to play. So basically, it was all because of a girl.
Oh my gosh. But also, was it a family tradition?
So my mother's side, everybody was musicians, bluegrass players, country singers. So that blood was in there. Cut my teeth on stage with my uncle, and played in church with my aunt, and my mother played. So there was a lot of musical background in there.
Yeah. And, you've had such a successful career in the last 20 plus years. And you're born and raised in Dawson, Pennsylvania, which is
Yep,
right outside of Pittsburgh.
yep.
And tell us about what it was like growing up. When did you know you wanted to be a performer?
Probably the first second I stepped on stage. I had been playing in bands, literally as soon as I picked up the fiddle. It was the crowd and the smiles and the entertaining and that's one of the reasons I climb up on bars and roofs and just about trees, anything I can, because if I think I can entertain somebody just that much more, let everybody forget about all their problems and just enjoy the show, enjoy the music and the fun.
Well, you do a great job, and it is entertaining to watch you. Your voice is amazing.
Oh, thank
And
you.
yeah, and let's talk about when you were 18 years old. Um, I read that you opened for a huge artist in the country music industry.
Hmm.
And I want you to tell us all about it. I don't want to spoil it.
Yep.
I want you to tell us
Yep.
who that artist was and what happened.
Yeah. So that's one thing a lot of people ask me, who have you got to meet? Who have you got to play with? And, some are good situations and some kind of maybe always aren't. And the one I remember, the one you're referring to is um, I was 18 years old, and Charlie Daniels is obviously one of my heroes. And so we were setting up the show. And of course, if you're young and green in the industry, as we like to say it, everything you look and you say, why is that guy doing that? Well, why is that happening over here? And so I walked up, Charlie wasn't there, and I walked up to his keyboard player. And I said, man, you guys are awesome. One of my favorite country bands. And he said, stop, kid. We're a Southern rock band. We're not a country band. I'm like, ugh, I ruined it. I ruined it the first time I got to meet somebody like this. I ruined it. But they end up being cool. So I never did. I didn't get to meet Charlie while we were setting up. We played our set, and then at the end of the set, Charlie's manager come over to me and he said, "Hey, would you like to play fiddle on stage with Charlie?" Now, again, I haven't even met him at that point, and I was like, "Yes. What are we gonna play?" And he said, "Well, figure it out." I said, "Okay." So in Charlie's setup, behind the drummer was a banner, and that's where he kind of like he played his show, and that's where he walked back to kind of take a break, and the band played a song, and that's when they called me up. So the first time I met him, literally was on stage right behind the drummer, and he's sitting there, and I said, "Mr. Daniels, I just want to let you know you're like one of my all-time favorites, and it's such an honor to be on the stage with you." And he goes, "That's really nice, son." He said, "You want to go golfing tomorrow?" And I was like, Yes, this isn't happening, right? How does this happen? And we went on stage. We played Orange Blossom Special, which is another one of my favorite fiddle tunes, and we just had a ball. And it was kind of funny because I knew he didn't hear the set, and I knew he didn't really know if I knew how to play fiddle or not. He was just kind of going by a stage manager in the band, and so he started playing it, and he was like, "Are you good playing fast?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I can handle it." And he goes, okay. So he starts playing it, and then I started playing it, and he's like, you can see the look on his face, saying, "Oh, okay." So then he hung his fiddle up, and he just sat there and kind of watched me play it, and then the band played. It was really really cool experience, and I honestly have to say, like, of all the people I've ever met, just the most humble, kind, gentle person. To have that kind of oh, what do you want to say? That to kind of have like the shine on a young artist like that, and to give that kind of a hey, this is the way that you're supposed to act in this genre, this music industry. I learned more in that 5 minutes that I was around him, and then we went and played golf, and then I got to do with that. I had gotten to do that with him. Probably a dozen times, and had got to share the stage with him. So just what a cool experience. Kind of my first real big, like, whoa, kind of thing. So it was really neat.
Yeah, that's a great story and experience. And now you have a teenage son
Yep.
who's playing music, playing the fiddle. How old is Alex?
He's 15.
15. So like,
Fit. Sorry, go ahead.
no, I was going to say like, so this happened when you were 18. So it's really only 3 years, you're looking
Yeah.
at Alex hanging out with Charlie Daniels type thing. I mean, like it is an unbelievable experience that you had at such a young age.
Yep.
And you definitely had to know what you were doing, or I'm sure he would never have had you
Yeah.
back on stage.
Hey guys,
And
somebody get the hook, get him out of here. Like, this is
yeah, yeah,
horrible.
yeah. And
Yeah.
so I want to talk about your family
Mhm.
and, all the things that Alex is doing, but I want to kind of keep this, in sequence for our
Mhm.
listeners to kind of hear the background story of your career.
Mhm.
And right after high school, you went on to college and you got a bachelor's degree in music education. And you know, is it true what I read? Can you play like almost any instrument? I have to ask you.
Yeah, so that's what you do in college, because a music teacher has to be able to teach woodwinds and brass, percussion, strings, all of that. So I have gotten my hands into it, and like I said, I come from a musical family. So if you give me an hour and an instrument, I can play something or do something with it. Now playing it and like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and being proficient at it is two totally different things, right? But it's interesting. So I bought a set of bagpipes a couple years ago, and I always
Oh
wanted
my
to learn
God.
how to play bagpipes. And that is the one instrument that is still sitting in my hundreds of musical instruments around my house that I have not actually got like to be able to play a song with. I really haven't tried that hard, but it was very frustrating, to start off with. But yeah, people hand me instruments all the time, like a balalaika, like some 150-year-old Italian little instrument this big that's with strings, and they'll say, "Hey, can you play something?" And I did it the other day, and it was like that. I'd wipe off the dust and clean the rust off the strings, and then I played a little ditty for them, and that kind of thing. So
I love it. Oh my gosh. I love the way you explain experiences too. It's so much fun to listen to you. You genuinely are excited about what you're doing and your life. I watch you on social media and I'm going to talk about that in a moment too, but I
mhm.
want to say, because I don't want to forget, everyone listening, you have to follow Chris_Higbee on social media because the energy and the storytelling and the glimpse in his life is a good time to watch. And I feel like it's almost a mini reality show. Anyway.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about after college. You became a founding member of the band Poverty Neck Hillbillies in 2000,
Mhm.
and you and the band performed for how long?
So in 2000, I was still in college, and I actually graduated, and fresh out of that, I had a real big decision to make, right? I had a job, and I could either be the teacher, I could go the teacher route, music education, or I could be a performer. And so I started leaning on the performer side. The farm that I lived on was actually called Poverty Neck. I was a nickname for it back in my grandfather days, and I started the band and we started playing local clubs. And then one thing grew into the next. We grew into Pittsburgh, got a record deal in Nashville, and started playing all over the country. And so that kind of like split okay, I'm going to be a performer now. That band we played for about 8 years, something like that. 2008 or nine, I believe we broke up, and that's when I went solo.
Yeah, and you have had a lot of success and albums, solo albums,
Hmm.
and with the touring as well. Uh, you're getting ready to kick off the tour,
Yep.
and I looked at that schedule, and Chris, it's jam packed. I I don't know how you manage to do all that you do. Do you take the family on the road with you in the tour bus?
Most of the time. Now that Alex is a little bit older, and I have a daughter Lucy, and I have a 5-year-old Hunter, and they do come on stage and play with me when able to. But we got basketball and baseball, and I want to make sure that the kids experience their youth and playing sports and enjoying all that. So Alex really seems like he's released 2 singles. We're getting ready to go to Nashville in April to cut his third single, and I'm going to cut another single, and we're going to make another EP, and this will be our sixth album EP. And it's funny, the other day. Sorry, squirrel. I'm getting a little off track, but the other
No, no,
day,
I love it.
the other day we were working on a project, and I just said, you know what? There's songs I've written, recorded, and I haven't listened to in a while. So I just put on my channel and on Spotify, and I hit play, and 3 hours later, I'm still listening to songs. I mean, there's like 60 songs. I was like, holy cow! There's a lot there, you know. As far as Alex goes, it really seems like he has. The kid is way more talented than I am. He can listen to something one time and play it, and he's getting really good at the fiddle, starting to learn acoustic guitar, um, and he is kind of dabbling into writing a little bit. But the again, and then school is a big thing for him too because he's like really smart, and he wants to be an engineer. So. Uh, I'm always under the impression that like music is a choice, right? You have to want to do it. This is a labor of love. Why I have so many gigs is because I love to play. I love to play in front of people. I love to perform, and I always want to make sure that I leave it a choice for Alex. So I'm like, hey, listen, buddy, you want to go to college and you want to be a an engineer? Go be an engineer because I can keep doing music you can come on the weekends and you can play music with me and I can handle all that. And if you end up getting a song on the radio and you end up hitting it, you can still do both of those things. So with online courses and everything that's going on, his future is very bright. I will say just because he's such an amazing kid and God has blessed me with 3 amazing children. Um, it's nice for me as somebody that has been in the industry for so long, and he has been in the industry since he was a little kid. He's been on stage sharing it with me. It's nice to have that ability to. It's something I told myself becoming a father is that I can't force this on him, right? It can't be if you're going to do something, you're going to do it right. Here's our practice time. Here's what you have to have prepared for the next show. But coming to a gig is always his choice.
Yeah, I think I read also that even at a young age, Alex was on stage when you were opening for Florida Georgia Line. Huge concert. The kids on the stage, with thousands of people in the audience. I
Yeah.
mean,
So that
that's a professional at that age.
Yeah, yeah, and it's funny because I have the conversation because he's just so chill about a lot of things, When we have this big rocking crowd in front of us, and he's like, "Yeah, Dad, I'm ready." Meanwhile, I'm bouncing up and down in the back of the stage, and to my point earlier, so to they take that show for example. I think Alex was like 9 or 10 or something, and we were up in the
Unbelievable.
Florida Georgia line, 25,000 people in it, big wall of people, and Alex just kind of strolls up on stage, and we're singing Superhero, and our time's limited, right? Because we don't have the freedom, of having to quit whenever we want. So I'm trying to get him like, all right, come on, buddy, let's go out on the catwalk. And so, and he sees the people and he's high-fiving people,
Oh
roar,
my
people's
God.
roaring, you know what I mean? And he turns around and he sees the Jumbotron, right? And it's like this 1,000 feet by 1,000 feet big TV, and he hadn't noticed it yet. So the camera was on him, and he turns around and looks and just drops right out of the song, and he goes right in the mic. He goes, "Dad, we're on TV. Look at that!" And I'm like, "You got to sing the song. What do you?" And everybody started laughing. It was really really a cool moment. Very very neat.
Yeah, yeah, I love it. And I think this is actually a great time for me to play snippet number one. And uh, I believe Alex is singing along with you with the song That's What Beer Is For. And we're going to
Yeah.
play a snippet so our listeners can hear a taste of your great music featuring your son Alex and who else is playing with you in this song?
So my guitar player, Mark, who I went to high school with, he's been with me since I went solo. Still with me, and he and I have a great time. He's a super talented musician. The three of us are in that video, along with Mark's dad was actually in the video, and we filmed that in Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh Brewing, home of Icy Light in Iron City, and just a song that my producer and I, Tommy Harden, very well known producer in Nashville and player, we wrote that song, and it's just a really cool, fun, typical me. Just
Yeah.
I'm looking around at stuff in their brewery, and I'm like, can I crash through this big thing of boxes through a thing? And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, it'll be cool. Don't worry about it. I'll be fine. So,
Oh, that's great. So we're going to play a snippet. And when we come back, we're going to talk more music.
So hold my can and y'all watch this. Skiing off the roof with a backflip twist. I won't try that no more. That's what beer is for. That's what beer is for. Might make you feel a little better. That's what beer is for. Might help you get the forgetter. Makes my rowdy crowd thirsty for more. That's what beer is for.
Chris, I love that song. I mean, it's awesome. And it is a good time. It definitely gets you pumped. And just like you said, when I watched the video, I loved it. The funny bits and pieces throughout the video is terrific. You talked about the box scene.
yeah.
I was so happy at the end when I saw the glove on the bottle going down the conveyor belt. I
Oh,
mean, I was just like, yes.
yes.
I mean, for anyone who knows Laverne and Shirley and, Shamil Shamazel, Hassan
Yeah.
Pep Incorporated,
Da, da, da,
whatever it
da,
is.
da.
I
Yep.
mean, I'm like, yes, I love it. And
Yeah. As
were
soon as
you
I,
behind the,
sorry, go ahead.
go ahead.
As soon as so they before we filmed, they walked me through the plant, right? And I seen all these bottles going like tick, 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 and it just popped in my head. I'm like, we have to do the Laverne and Shirley, and the entire crew and everybody looked at me and said, "What? Come on, Laverne. I'm not that wise, I like to say." I said, "The Laverne and Shirley with the glove." And then as soon as I did it, now I had to show half of them on my phone what I was talking about, like the Laverne, because there's like 26-year-old videographer and a 25-year-old audio guy, and I'm like, it's Laverne and Shirley. Come on.
Oh, I
Alex
love
still
it.
has no idea what that meant. I tried explaining it to him. I'm
Yeah.
like, it was an old sitcom, buddy. A what? I don't even know what young kids call it these days. Like, how you stream a bunch of episodes on Netflix, and he's like, yeah. I'm like, well, in my day, it was on TV, and it was called a sitcom. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. 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 And did you have uh full approach on the creative end of that? Or you were just inspired when you got there, or like, how did that all go when you were planning that video out?
So I do not drawing out storyboards, but I make a lot of notes and I think about five scenes, right? We got to get five scenes in there, and there got to be a scene with the band shot, and a scene with the drone shot, and then a scene, that's what beer is for. So of course I'm going to be shown making beer, right? So the barley was on my shoulder, and I poured it into the hopper, and then we took pictures of all the tubes and all that kind of stuff, and it was just kind of kind of like writing a play or a movie or something. You just kind of come up with your head. I have a lot of windshield time driving from gig to gig, so I make sure my phone's always, hey, we should do this in this video because this is going to make sense.
Yeah. Well, it's a winner. I just loved it. And now you said you're going to be going to Nashville
Mhm.
and working on some new projects. And tell us a little bit about that. When are you going? And, what do you already have some songs in mind, or do you
Mhm.
write when you're in Nashville?
So I did I do every Monday night I do an acoustic show live stream for my subscribers on Facebook, and I went down to Nashville and did it with my producer Tommy Harden. So a little bit of background on Tommy: he's played with Reba for like 16 years. He's currently playing with Alabama right now. He's a drummer and just an amazing guy, incredible musician and producer. And I went down there. We wrote two songs, and then we did my little acoustic live stream. And then in April 14 and 15, Alex and I will go down. And it's kind of a different approach. Anymore, releasing a 12-song album, really, it's a kind of a thing of a past, right? If you have a record label shelling out hundreds of thousands of dollars and you can live in a studio for a month, that makes a lot of sense. But when you're working while you're doing it, as I'm doing, going from gig to gig, and then okay, I have 3 days here, so I'm gonna drive to Nashville. Hey, Tom, are you available? Yeah, okay, I'll be down there in the morning. And it's like 9 o'clock at night. Okay, okay, Chris, I'll come on up. You can do one or two or three songs every session. So April 14th we'll get down there. I have 4 or 5 songs written ready to go, so we'll kind of like see where my vocal lands in them and do a little pre-production with them. Then we'll go in the studio and record for a day. The next day we'll do vocals, and then I'll probably head home. So it's kind of a quick trip for me, just because I'm playing every weekend, and it's difficult to get any time off.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what you're going to be releasing. You think what, in the next few months, or what do you
No,
think the timeline is?
so the way I like to do it is Alex and I will both release a single at the same time, probably around the beginning of June, and then we're gonna go back
Nice.
down. Yep, we're gonna go back down to Nashville and record the rest of the EP probably at the end of May, and then we'll release that like midsummer or probably. I like to release a song every 2 or 3 months. Try to get as much exposure out of it as you can. And that seems to be working well now, because, like I said, the expense you can break it up a little bit easier, I guess, is the best way I can say it.
Well, great. I want to play snippet number 2, Chris. Your song, Hurry Up Nighttime.
Yeah,
And I love that song, and I want to play a snippet for the listeners.
yeah.
And when we come back, we're going to talk more music.
Nighttime, my baby's gonna be mine. Let's get to the sunset, bring on the moonlight. She's gonna be the perfect way to end a hard working day. My baby's gonna be mine. Hurry up, nighttime.
I love that song, Chris. And, can't wait, like I said, to keep hearing what you have coming out. And how important is social media and connecting with your fans, especially when you're going to be releasing new music? And, tell us about how important it is to you.
So it's really the lifeblood. And I just really started grasping how important it is over the last year or two. Um, and our social media numbers have gone up drastically. I can't tell you how many times at a show people say, "Hey, I follow you on Facebook or Instagram, and never seen a show, and we drove 2 hours to come see it just because we liked one of your videos that you were being silly or something, or and so and social media, I mean, boy, is it just a complete bear. I mean, to try to keep up with the technology of it, every
Yeah.
week is something new that you can do, and something, you try to figure out what's trending. And when I first started out, I tried to like follow the trends and like do something that would that some somebody else was trending, and then I would get so frustrated because I was trying to be somebody that I'm not, or doing something that necessarily isn't something that I would do, which I'm all about being open-minded and trying new things. But then I kind of came into people enjoy what I do because of me. So if I'm trying to act like somebody else or do something else, or get in a outside of my comfort zone, it doesn't always work. So my motto is like 90% stuff that I do, and then if there's something like out there that I think I can grow, not grow my social media, but grow as an artist, or grow as a musician, or grow as something different. You know, I'm happy to try things like that, but I always try to stay to my roots and to try to stay what I know, which is silly and fun, and try to be as uplifting as I can.
Yeah,
There,
I love it.
sorry.
I think the two that I just saw that you had, one was you and Alex um telling each other jokes.
Oh, the
Uh
dad joke.
dad jokes. And Alex, you do this joke that you are so proud of, and he kind of
Yeah.
just like walks away like, okay, dad. You know?
Yeah,
And then
I know.
the other one I saw was you're holding Hunter, and you guys are at Youngstown College or something, and
Hmm.
you're talking, and you got some little stuffed animals or something, and then they're dropping, and you're like, oh, he dropped it, and it's like, I love it. Just those little moments, they're so real. And that's why I love following you, because it's a mini reality show.
Yeah.
And, it's, I appreciate you. And I'm sure all that watch you appreciate all the time and effort that you put in.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you. That's very meaningful, because a lot of the times, so the difference between social media and what I do on a live show is when you say something funny at a live show, you get a reaction. When you sing something good, you get a reaction. If you say something that's not funny, you still get a reaction. It's cricket, cricket, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna start singing now.
Yeah, yeah,
On social
yeah.
media, you don't know on social media. It's like you just you I guess you gauge it by how many likes or follows or whatever you got, for that particular clip, and then you try to redo that. But I
Yeah.
um I enjoy my life. I enjoy music. I enjoy just life. So I like to try to show that as much as I can on
Yeah.
social media.
And it's nice to see, Chris, that you are such a family man. You're a good role model for your children. You include them every step of the way in what you're doing and teaching them and growing. And I know your wife is wonderful as well. You've talked about her many times, and she
Hmm.
has served in the military, which we really appreciate as well. And you are living the dream, and it is it's a lot of hard work, I'm sure. Um, but you're doing a fantastic job. I wanted to just kind of close out the show in a fun way and say, what do you like to do in your spare time that Chris likes to do? Is there anything that you'd like to share?
I believe in live hard and play hard. So I love to hunt. I love to fish. I love to anything outdoors. Any chance I can get. I mean, I'm outdoors right now because it's warm enough to be able to be outdoors.
Yeah.
So I involve myself with a lot of extracurricular activities where I'm pulling the kids in and say, hey, somebody want to go shoot a gun with me? That kind of thing. So yeah, I like to play.
Yeah, I bet. So the last question I have is, what is your go-to song when you're either working out or wanting to get pumped up, around the house, or what is your go-to song?
Well, see, I just had this conversation with somebody, and it was a little bit of as a buddy of mine, and he said, what's one of your favorite songs, Chris? And I'm like, man, I don't have a favorite. I enjoy all kind of different genres, all kind of different energy stuff. I mean, if it comes all the way down to heavy metal to bluegrass, when they mix bluegrass and heavy metal, which there are artists out there that do. Um, I like uplifting, um, fast, just get you excited kind of music. I forget the song I was listening to the other day. It was a Christian music channel I was listening to, and I can't remember. But boy, it's just a good beat, and I forget what I was doing,
Yeah.
shoveling something or whatever. But it was just one of those songs that makes you tap your toe and uh, makes you go down the road a little bit with your chest up, your head up, chin out, just kind of taking it in.
Well, there you go. Well, everybody check out Chris Higbee. He has, like you said, so many hit songs out there for those to check out and add to their collection. Are you available on all streaming platforms?
Yep, about everywhere
Okay.
you type in Chris Higbee, just it's all there.
Okay. And to check out your website as well for your
Yep.
touring schedule.
Mhm.
I would highly encourage everyone to attend a show or shows this summer. And thank you so much for joining me today. Really appreciate it.
Well, thank you
And
so much for having me. It's always a joy talking to you.
oh, thank you very much. And Chris, like I always say at the end of my podcast, that's a wrap.